Hi, this is Chris from abarabove.com, and today we're going to learn one of the essential steps, one of the building blocks in mixology, and that is infusions. Now, before we begin learning about infusions, I highly recommend that you look into your local laws. I remember back in 2010, I was actually managing restaurants, and I remember hearing that the ABC was going after some of the highest profile bars in the city. They were going in there, rating them, and seizing all the infused alcohol they had and literally making them pour down the drains. There was definitely penalties involved and fines, and not only that, but you don't want to be on the ABC's radar for breaking the law. Now in 2011, we're very fortunate in that California overturned that law and passed Senate Bill SB 32. Now, not every state is that lucky. I know in Tennessee right now, as of, I believe it's June 2013, the ABC is actively going after any restaurant that's infusing alcohol and serving it to their guests. Make sure that you understand the laws in your area and state and county. Now, the general principles of infusion are very easy. Essentially, you're just going to make an alcoholic tea. So you're going to put whatever substance that you're infusing into the alcohol in your glass container, and then you're basically just going to pour a bunch of alcohol over the top of it. And the alcohol is going to strip away any of the sugars, any of the oils, or any of the juices that are present in the infusion jar. And that's essentially it. It's a very easy step and process. So now that we have all the scientific mumbo-jumbo and the legal jargon out of the way, let's go ahead and get hands-on with this and have a little bit of fun. So I went ahead and prepared 15 lemons, and what I mean by prepared is I just rinsed them off, made sure there was nothing on the outside layers. And now I'm just going to go ahead and zest this away from the pith. And when you do that, a lot of the oils are going to, or some of the oils will be expressed and start to go in the environment. So what I've done is actually have a bowl with a little bit of alcohol in here, in this case vodka, and I'm going to try and capture as much of the oils as possible. So you're just going to essentially just drag it right across the top. The other thing that you want to make sure, especially with lemons or any kind of citrus, is that the white portions that you see here are the bitterest portions of the fruit. The peeler I have, I actually spent about a year looking for this exact one and testing a couple different models out, and eventually coming to this one. And this one is very good at just getting the top layer of fruit off the fruit and not grabbing much of the white pith underneath. I remember before I found this one, I would actually have to make a giant pile of these lemons, the lemon skins, put them on the table and slowly start to skin away the white pith from the rind of it. And it would just, you have to do 2 to 3 times as much work at that point. So find a good quality zester if you can, and just experiment with it. Find something that works. You want the right tools for the job. I will post a link on the one I found, and hopefully it'll be the same experience for you. So the equipment that you need for infusion is actually stuff you probably already have lying around the house. First of all, you need whatever you're going to be infusing into your alcohol. In this case, we're going to be doing lemons. The other thing, obviously, is alcohol, and a lot of it. The last thing you need is this really fancy infusion machine. I'll tell you a good story about that later, but it doesn't have to be like this. I actually use this for catering events. But essentially all you need is a non-reactive container that you can store the alcohol in for an extended period of time, typically a couple weeks. Whenever possible, I like to use glass, but if you're in a restaurant setting or a bar and you have Cambros lying around, Cambros are non-reactive, and that's typically what I have used in the past. Now, speaking of the past, I had a restaurant job where I was doing a lot of infusions, and my roommate at the time thought that it was this crazy machine where you put ingredients in and you put alcohol in and magic happens and all of a sudden you have an infused alcohol. It was kind of funny looking back on it now, but he thought that for probably about 6 months or so, until one day I actually did some at home and kind of destroyed that mental image for him. But anyways, that's all the equipment that you need. Now, like I said, you probably have a lot of this stuff at home. This is just another example of a storage device that you could use for infusions. This just happens to be just an old pasta sauce container that I have. This one is Classico's Creamy Alfredo, and it was delicious, by the way. It was really tasty. But just make sure that if you're going to use these, that you clean them out, rinse them, make sure there's no smell, odor, or any kind of residue on the inside of the glass. And you can absolutely use this for a small batch of infusions. And like I said, you probably already have this stuff at home. So all the work is essentially done. I've added the lemon zest to my glass container here, and I poured vodka over the top of it. So like I said, all the hard work is already done. From here on out, what we're going to be doing is I'll be monitoring it every day, and what that means is I'm just going to give it a shake or a stir until I'm happy with it and it's expressing the oils and the taste that I want. We'll definitely keep you posted on all that. The other thing is that I'm going to go ahead and put a lid on this and keep it in a cool, dark place. We're trying to take as much of the oils and other compounds out of this lemon rind as possible, and sunlight will actually start to break all those down. So that's the reason why we keep it in a dark place. So until then, I'm just going to monitor this and hope to see you guys soon. But until the next episode, have a great shift and cheers. If you enjoyed this video, subscribe to our YouTube channel, find us on Google+, or visit us at abarabove.com. And there we have it. I feel really good about that. You know what else I feel good about? Creamy Alfredo sauce by Classico.